Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. What is going on, baseball fans? How you doing? Are the Padres about to just take over the baseball world? What is going on in San Diego? Are they honestly about to acquire Yu Darvish? Are you kidding me? We're going to talk Yu Darvish. We're going to talk Ha-Seong Kim, JT Realmuto, Joe Musgrove. Let's get started.
Wake up the dumb bambino and have me face him. Maybe I'll drill him in the ass.
And what is going on, baseball fans? How you doing? We're already seeing a really good turnout in the chat tonight. Wow, 58 people to start off. That is awesome to see, everyone. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you're all doing good. Hope you all had a good Monday. I did go live this morning to talk the Blake Snell trade. So if you have not seen that stream, or if you weren't there for that stream and you have yet to see that stream, go head over there and go see what I had to say about that. I'm not going to get too much into Blake Snell tonight because we already have so much other stuff going on. Thank goodness for some baseball news. I have been just banging my head against a wall waiting for something to happen. And thank goodness we have had some stuff happening in the last couple of days here. So again, if you did miss the Blake Snell stream from today, go check that out. That is available on my channel for you to watch. That is there just to go over that trade real quick. Not going to get too deep into it. The Padres did acquire Blake Snell, and in return, the Rays got Luis Patino, Francisco Mejia, Cole Wilcox, and Blake Hunt. Again, I broke down this trade from that stream this morning, so if you have yet to see that, hey, head on over there. If you want to stick around, watch this stream, and then head on over there afterwards. That is cool too. But we are going to break down all of this other stuff going on tonight. So real quick, if I may, hit that subscribe button if you're looking for more baseball news. I'm talking baseball here all the time. Hit that like button. I want to get to 100 likes tonight, everyone. Let's get to 100 likes. I'm at 27 right now. If we can get to 100, that would be fantastic. I'm seeing 66 people in the chat, and I'm seeing 27 thumbs up. I know, YouTubers, they say it all the time, hit that thumbs up, but really, it does help. It really gets out in the algorithm. I don't know how, but it really does help. And one more quick, cheap plug. What if David Ortiz did not leave the Twins after the 2002 season? Go check that out. I posted that on Christmas Eve. So if you're looking for something to watch, go give that a watch. I think you'll like it. But let's get back to the news. So the big headline right now, it's developing as we speak. It seems like the finer details are being hammered away. Let me get this music off real quick. Trying to make it a good habit to not forget about this music. But it seems like the final details are being hammered away here with Yu Darvish possibly going to the Padres. This, to me, I have a lot of feelings about this. Good feelings for Padres fans. If you're a Padres fan right now, you have just got, you got to be running around in the streets already with your pants off thinking World Series, here we go. That starting pitching could look pretty scary if you ask me, especially in 2022. We're going to get into this. We're going to look at some possible trades between, or what we could end up seeing. So let me get this all set up for you. Let me come back to you here. So first off, with the Padres, I have been saying for a bit now, with the Padres, I've been kind of thinking, man, like, how are they going to pull off a trade where if they're not going to include one of their top guys, one of their top prospects? Because you've had that big four. You've had Mackenzie Gore, you've had Luis Patino, Luis Campusano, and CJ Abrams. And so that's how we did see a Blake Snell trade come together. They did include Luis Patino. Out of those top 4, you have not seen the Padres be really willing to part with those top prospects. But now that they seem to be willing, they were able to acquire a guy like a Blake Snell by parting with Luis Patino. Now, the question is, are they going to have to part with a or part with another one, maybe let's say a Luis Campusano? I think Mackenzie Gore is way. I don't think they're going to get rid of him. If they got rid of Mackenzie Gore, I would be, especially in a Yu Darvish trade, I don't see that happening at all. But I would be shocked if they ended up trading Mackenzie Gore at all. I don't think they're going to get rid of him unless they got blown away with something. But I think CJ Abrams, I think that's a guy maybe. Not in a Darvish trade. I think he's too much for Darvish. That guy has a lot of value. Still very, very far away. Now, the question is, are they maybe going to include a Luis Campusano? And it seems like that was maybe the rumor at one point. But now it seems like they're that is dying off a little bit. And I'm going to get into some trades here in a second. But if the Cubs the Padres, if the Padres are able to acquire a Yu Darvish without having to give up a Luis Campusano, you have got to be kidding me. That would be a huge win for the Padres. If you're able to keep Campusano along with Abrams and Gore, that's a win. You automatically win that trade. Because I'm sorry, with the Cubs, I don't know. I personally think you could get better out there. I mean, what do I know? I'm not an expert by any means. I'm not an insider by any means, but I would imagine, don't get me wrong. So, hold on. You know what? Let me just stop talking. Let me actually go to baseball trade values, and let's kind of get into some trade talks, because I could just ramble on all day. But before I actually get to baseball trade values and kind of go over some potential trades, let's kind of give credit where it's due. Bob Nightingale, he's the one saying here, as of about almost an hour and a half ago, Caratini will be part of the trade once it occurs, but Campusano won't. So that, to me, Caratini is Yu Darvish's personal catcher. I'm telling you, there is something about that pitcher-catcher relationship, and Darvish did really well with Caratini behind the plate this year. So that's not a surprise, but I am shocked that someone like Campusano wouldn't be involved. I'm very curious to see what the end package is going to be. I'm very curious about that. And that's where we'll get into baseball trade values here in a little bit. So again, if you're looking 658, it appears that they're close to a deal, and it looks like they're going to finalize it tonight. Are you kidding me? You got Blake Snell last night, and you're going to get Yu Darvish tonight? You got to be kidding me. And you're going to get Darvish without having to part with a top prospect. At least that's what we know right now. God, that is a slam dunk for the Padres. And I'll get more into that in a second. But Heyman has a 432. He said a trade looks close. And it looks like the Cubs want some MLB experience as part of their return. That could mean a lot of things. In my opinion, I think that's going to mean that they want someone that is young and is major league ready. Maybe that he's gotten a bit of a taste of the major leagues already. A Francisco Mejia would have been a good example of that, but he just went to the Rays, and they already have Wilson Contreras anyway. So, but that's the kind of a player, I think, someone maybe 23, 24 years old, something like that. He's had a taste of the major leagues. That's what I think this means. But yeah, again, you're seeing this from being reported from a lot of people. The two teams are nearing an agreement, and it is going to be a multiple piece trade. So as we saw earlier, Caratini, the catcher from the Cubs, looks like he's going to be included in this kind of a trade. So it looks like here the Pods have accepted the haul they will send to the Cubs. So it looks like it's just a matter of who's going to go back to the Padres. I think the Cubs are okay with what they're going to get. So it's again just to kind of ironing out those final details a little bit. So again, the Pods have accepted the haul they will have to send to the Cubs. So it looks like the Cubs, they're set now on what they're getting. So it's just a matter of what's going to go back to the Padres. That's going to be the interesting part. So, but again, this is where we were talking about Luis Campusano. Nightingale was reporting that he's among the names that has been discussed, but his inclusion in this deal would give the Cubs a replacement should they send a catcher to the Padres. But I don't know. It's looking like we saw up here. Looks like that is not going to happen, which, again, I think that's a slam dunk for the Padres. If they're able to get Yu Darvish, I understand Yu Darvish, he's going to cost a little money, but his contract is really not that bad. When you look at his contract, it's really not. Compared to all these other guys, I understand he's like, 33, 34 years old now, but I think Darvish is a guy, he hasn't had too many injury problems in his career. I think Darvish is someone where you're going to see him kind of have that longevity. I don't see him wearing down. So I don't know. I'm going to be interested to see what the Cubs end up getting for him. So let's not waste any more time here. Let's go to baseball trade values. I love me some baseball trade values. They do some great work over here. Don't agree with exactly everything they say, but they do really good work. And just to kind of show you what we're talking about here with, how accurate they are. If we take a look at the Blake Snell trade from today, I did discuss this on this morning's stream. So if we take a look, let me make sure you guys can see it. So as you can see, the Rays, they received a value of 60.90 in return for Snell, who had a value of 52.90. So the Rays, the Padres, they did have to sweeten the pot a little bit, but this is kind of how you can see how close that trade was. Again, the Rays, and usually for a trade, if you want like a frontline starter, like a Blake Snell, you're going to have to sweeten the pot just a little bit. So this looks pretty accurate if you ask me. So again, a bit of an overpay, but you're going to have to do that for a guy like a Blake Snell. That's just how it works. That's just the business of the game, So let's actually take a look at some possible trades here. There's a lot of different ways this can go. What we do know is we know, at least as of right now, it looks like the Padres are going to be getting Yu Darvish and Caratini. So I don't know if someone else could maybe be involved in that, but it looks like the Cubs have accepted what they're going to be getting back. I wonder if it has to do with maybe the Cubs are going to be paying off some of his contract. Usually I'm just guessing here, usually when, it's taken a little bit for it to get finalized, usually that has to do with some kind of money involved. At least that's from what I've seen in trades before, when you see a trade that's like really close, but then it ends up taking a few more hours to get done, or maybe even another day. Usually it comes down to some kind of a financial thing. So I'm wondering if the Cubs are going to be paying off some of Darvish's contract a little bit. And maybe that could end up helping them get a pretty good prospect in return. So there's a lot of different ways this can go. So let me pull up Darvish on here. As you can see, Darvish, he has a value of 20.10. And then if we take a look at Caratini, I believe he has a value of about 5. So, yeah, he's a pretty young catcher as well. Caratini, 26 years old, play a little first base as well. So, it looks like as of right now, let's kind of just stick with this for the moment. It looks like the Padres, they're going to be getting, unless there's someone else getting added to this, I would imagine that no one else is going to get added to this player-wise. I could imagine, maybe they're going to get some money. So I actually feel like they're going to end up paying some money, but let's kind of stick with players right now. Let's just stick to that. Let's say there's no money involved. Let's just keep it simple. So for the Padres, you're really looking at, like I said, you have those big prospects in the minor leagues. You got Gore. He has a 70.6 value. You have, Abrams, 61.6. Goodness gracious. That's pretty high for prospects. Campusano, that's a little more respectable, 32.1. But according to reports, he's not going to be going back in this trade. As you can see, Cronenworth, he has a 29.5. I would imagine he's not going to go back. I'd be shocked if he went back. But we're going to get to the player that they just signed. So I wonder if Cronenworth is actually going to be on the move defensively. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. So this is when you kind of start getting into, these other guys. They're not going to send Nola back. They just traded for Nola. So this is where you start getting into these mid-level prospects, like a Robert Hassell. I could see Robert Hassell being in this deal. That to me looks like a very big possibility. I'd imagine Robert Hassell is a guy where, you just drafted him. He has a ton of potential. And just because they just drafted him, that doesn't mean anything. They also just drafted Cole Wilcox, and he got involved in the Blake Snell trade. So even if a player was just drafted, they're still up for grabs. So Robert Hassell is a guy where the Cubs were actually linked to Robert Hassell in the draft. Their name came up a lot with him, but the Padres took him early. So a lot of people thought Hassell was going to fall down further in that draft, and then the Padres took him pretty early. So I could see him being in this deal. I would be shocked if Hassell was not in this deal. There's a lot of potential with him. I could see that. I could definitely see that. If we kind of start taking a look, I would imagine Morejon would be involved in this. I would imagine Adrian Morejon's going to be involved. That to me seems like that's a clear-cut thing. If you're getting Darvish, you got to send a starting pitcher back. I would imagine that. And it said the Cubs want someone with MLB experience. Morejon had experience this past year. I could easily see Morejon in this deal. So, right here, as you can see, this is pretty even. This is very even. 25.60 going to the Padres, the Cubs getting 26. But as you can see, when it comes to trades, like we saw with Blake Snell, you might have to sweeten the pot a little bit. So maybe you're going to have to include one more guy if you're the Padres. And then you can start going down this list. You got maybe a Lucchesi here. Maybe a Pedro Baez. Something like that. Let's just say Baez, a young arm for the bullpen. And then right there, I think you might have something. I think there might be something here. Do I like this package? I don't know. I don't know if I like that package for the Cubs. I don't think it's a bad package by any means, but I don't know. I just think, I don't know. I've done trades on here where I've looked at other teams, but maybe those other teams don't want to part with those guys, and I can understand that. I don't think this is the best package, in my opinion, that you can get for a Darvish. I don't think it's a bad package, but I think it's respectable, I guess. But I think if you're a Cubs fan, do you like this? Alexis, I see you in the chat. Maybe a Zach Davies as well. That could be possible. So I wonder if he could be involved in this. Zach Davies is a possible option as well. So let me actually pull up Davies. Where are you at? Davies. That could be possible. Definitely don't count out that. So Davies, he doesn't really have much value. That's pretty interesting. He had a pretty good year. I don't know, but that actually doesn't look too bad either. He doesn't have much value, at least according to baseball trade values. I think personally, I just think I don't know. It's just, it's okay. I could see Davies maybe being included in this deal. I think that's possible. Now, but let's say they want to hang on to Davies. Well, if you think now for 2021, what is their rotation even looking like? They have every starting pitcher on the market right now, it seems. So here we go. So your rotation for this year, as of right now, Clevinger, he's going to be gone for this year. Lamet, I could imagine the Padres wanting to hang on to Davies because Lamet, he was having some injury concerns towards the end of the end of 2020. He didn't even pitch in the playoffs. So I could imagine them wanting to hang on to Davies. So as you can see here, Snell is not included yet. Padres, what are you doing? You got to update your depth chart. Can you please make this happen? But as of right now, you're looking at, on paper, you're looking at Lamet, Snell, if they get Darvish. So Lamet, Snell, Darvish, Paddock, and Davies. So you're looking at those five guys. So I don't know. Are you gonna want to get rid of a Zach Davies in this trade? I don't think so. He is a free agent after this year. So I don't know. I mean, I think I don't know. I could see that going either way. Maybe the Cubs want him back for the because they got to think from the Cubs' point of view. They don't have anyone for the rotation. So, I mean, unless they bring back Lester and, they just had Chatwood become a free agent as well. So there's a lot of different ways this could go. I would imagine maybe they want to hang on to Davies for depth, but I could also see the Cubs wanting him back in return as well. So that's interesting. I'm just gonna leave Davies off of here for now, just to kind of keep it a little more simple. But let's just say if Davies was not included in this is kind of what you're working with right now. So I think Hassell is definitely going to be involved. Honestly, I think one guy, if I were to bet money, I don't know anything, but I think Morahan would be a part of this deal. I think that is, to me, a lock. I think he would be a part of this deal. Now, let's say the Cubs, they're willing to give some money. They're willing to pay off some of that contract. So let's just say baseball trade values, the way they do the money, it's a little confusing. But hold on. Wait, did I mess that up? Oh, here we go. Padres. So add cash. So if they added, I don't know what exactly each dollar amount means when it comes to value, but whatever. Let's just say I just put 10, and that gives a little more wiggle room for another prospect. So you could make, and if you're going to be, especially if you're giving cash, that could maybe tempt the Padres to add in another guy. So I don't know. Maybe you could take off, maybe you could add someone in, or maybe you could take off someone like a Baez and then get like a better prospect in return. So, wait, I'm looking at hold on. So Padres, here we go. Again, maybe Weathers. Maybe you could add in Weathers. I don't know. And there you go. I mean, you're getting 4 pretty decent young players in this kind of a deal. So I don't know. Let's say Baez, you keep him. I don't know how the Padres feel about Baez. I like Baez. I really wanted Baez if they were going to trade Mookie to the Padres last year. I really liked Baez for the bullpen. So let's say, I don't know, they hang on to Baez. Then maybe they can throw someone else in. This is pretty even at the moment, but I would imagine the Cubs, they're going to want more. They're going to want more here. You're giving away a guy that just finished second in the Cy Young voting. He's a solid arm, near the top of the rotation kind of a guy. Maybe you could add in, I don't know, maybe Lucchesi. You're getting 3 young arms at this point. If you throw, right there, maybe this is something they can do. So I think this is kind of where you're going to see. I think you're probably looking at maybe the Cubs getting 4 prospects back if they add in cash. And if they don't add in cash, I'm thinking 3 players total. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the final package is. I guess for the Cubs, if they're really wanting to do a reset, they're getting rid of Darvish's salary. So that's why I'm wondering also if they're going to want to pay any of his contract. Hold on, let me lower that real quick. Let me lower it from 10. Let me actually see. Cubs. Let's lower it down to 5. So right here, maybe they just paid a little bit. I don't know. That kind of, it's pretty close to the overpay that the Rays had to do, or that the Padres had to do for Snell. So I don't know. Maybe you just take out Lucchesi in this, and then you just get 3 pretty decent prospects. So let's look at the final product. Let me take Lucchesi off, and then maybe you're looking at something like this. Darvish, Caratini, a little bit of cash, maybe, I don't know, like a third of his salary or something like that. I don't know. And then the Cubs, you get Hassell, Morahan, and Weathers. I think that is, I think this is roughly what you're going to see. I think something like this. I don't know. I don't think they're going to do Abrams. They're definitely not going to do Gore. There's no way they're doing Gore. They're not doing they're not doing a Lamet. Absolutely not. So if I were to just go to the minors, so they're not doing Gore. They're not doing Abrams. It looks like they're not doing Campusano. I would imagine maybe the Cubs really wanted him, but they probably weren't liking the total package if he was included. So that's where I'm thinking, like, after these, you've already gotten rid of Patino now. So now it's a matter of, you're kind of going down the list here. Hassell, Weathers, So that's kind of where I think this is going to end up. Something like this. I think you could expect to see something like this. Not an expert by any means. I'm just going off this website. But, yeah, it looks okay to me. I wouldn't hate that package if I were the Cubs. If that's the best you can get, and you're really motivated to get rid of a Yu Darvish, you're really motivated to kind of reset and clear some salary, then, hey, so be it, We'll have to wait and see how this ends up turning out. Wow, we have 216 people in the chat right now. You guys are nuts. Thank you so much for coming in. 216 people. That's awesome. Where are we at with the likes right now? Let's take a look. Wow, 65 likes. Hey, everyone. I think we could get to 100 likes tonight. I think we're in the possibility of getting to 100 likes. So if you can, hit that thumbs up for me. Before I move on to the next topic, if you have yet to subscribe, hey, think about subscribing down below. I'm here talking baseball all the time. So, yeah, hit that subscribe button. But let's move on to our next topic. I understand the Padres are just all over the place right now. They got Snell. It looks like it's only a matter of time before they bring in Yu Darvish. But they also did make another move today. They are absolutely insane. They brought in Ha-Seong Kim. Are you kidding me? This guy is... First off, if any of you watched the KBO when Major League Baseball was shut down, this guy was a lot of fun to watch. A lot of fun to watch. He did get off to a bit of a slow start in the KBO this year, but by the end of the year, he put together a really, really good season. So let's end up coming back here. Oh, you know what, actually? One thing, I want to actually show you one thing before I move on. I want to talk one more thing about Yu Darvish. Can I just point this out? Let's, real quick, 2022. Let's take a look at this. I want to show you one thing. Get ready. Get your eyes ready for what you're about to see. I want you to prepare yourself. Prepare yourself, everyone. Just take a look. Are you kidding me? This trade, if this gets done, this is the potential rotation that you're looking at for 2022. Padres fans are literally crying tears of joy as I show them this right now. Tears of joy. Let me make that a little bigger for you. This is insane. This is a nasty rotation. Look at Mackenzie Gore just hanging out up there. You look at him. Do you all see Mackenzie Gore, the top pitching prospect in the major leagues? He's just hanging out up there. But what is going on? This is nuts. Lamet, Darvish, Snell, Clevinger, Paddock. If Paddock turns it around, are you kidding? And then you got Gore? This is insane. This is absolutely insane. If you're a Padres fan, you are frothing at the mouth right now. You are literally outside running around with your pants off and celebrating in the streets. I mean, that is scary to look at. Very scary. And that could maybe, very possibly, bring you a World Series. If you don't get it in 2021, you got to be excited about 2022. What I like about if they do end up making this trade, what I like about it is that you're also excited for 2022 as well, because you're going to be getting Clevinger back. That's insane. That's just absolutely insane. But moving on to Ha-Seong Kim. Ha-Seong Kim. So here we go. We talked about Darvish already. So here we go. Padres to sign Ha-Seong Kim. Kim's contract as of 1:30 p.m. Kim's contract is at least 4 years in guaranteed length, according to MLB Network's John Heyman. Sherman indicated earlier today that the deal would likely check in south of 6 years, but could come in with a $7 to $8 million annual salary. That's kind of roughly what you were probably going to expect with him. You were roughly looking around maybe anywhere from like 7 to 10 million for him. This makes sense, especially if they can get him for more years. Goodness gracious. This is a guy where he's really good. Really, really good. I tried looking for some highlights, but I didn't. I wanted to show some highlights of him, but I don't want to get copyrighted. So Unfortunately, I cannot show any. I did look up some videos, but a lot of them looked a little iffy where I didn't want anyone copywriting me. So if you do want to go check out Ha-Seong Kim, there are highlights on YouTube. He's a very fun player to watch. But if we go take a look at how he did in the year 2020, over 138 games, had a really solid season. And I understand it's the KBO. We're going to talk about that. The KBO is not the same talent level as a Major League Baseball. I would say it's more in line with like a triple A, like a double A, triple A, maybe even like a quadruple A kind of a level. It's kind of right below that, but they have had some successful guys from there come over to the major leagues and have some success. One guy is Hyun-Jin Ryu. So that is a pitcher. So we'll have to see how a position player works out. But this is a guy that has a lot of talent. He's 25 years old. Yeah, he's going to be 25 when the season starts. So this guy last year, he had a 921 OPS, hit 306, had 30 home runs, had 109 RBIs, had 23 stolen bases. He plays good defense. This is a guy where, you know, he's an all-around kind of a player, and he can also play a little third. He could play second, and that's where we're going to kind of talk about this a little bit. It's going to be interesting to see what the Padres end up doing with him. Like where they plug him in. Is he going to be a starter right away? I feel like they're going to take more of like a wait and see kind of approach. I would at least think. I don't know. I mean, they are paying him a decent amount of money, but it's going to be interesting to see what they end up doing with him because they have Cronenworth over at second. So if we go take a look at the depth chart right now, so you have Jake Cronenworth right there at second base. I mean, you already have your franchise shortstop in Fernando Tatis Jr., so he's definitely not going to play short. So, but if you go take a look, you know, if you look at this outfield, this is another thing. You know what? I'm actually going to get back to Yu Darvish here in a second because there's one thing that I left out. This is where, so from what I've been reading, Ha-Seong Kim is most likely going to play second base if anywhere, and then you're going to see Cronenworth move out to the outfield where he doesn't have too much experience out there. I believe he only has like 4 or 5 games of experience in the outfield in his professional career. So it's going to be interesting to see how that ends up working out. But if you take a look at the outfield, this is really interesting as well. And this is where I'm going to get back to the Cubs here in a second, where in left, you have Tommy Pham. In center, you're going to have Trent Grisham. He's not going anywhere. But then in right, you have Will Myers. So that's interesting. It makes me wonder. Could maybe Tommy Pham or Will Myers be a part of the Yu Darvish trade? I kind of wonder about that a little bit. Because, I mean, unless you keep Tommy Pham, or I would imagine Will Myers is going to be starting. I don't think Cronenworth's going to play right. So I don't know. Can Cronenworth play right? Padres fans in the chat, tell me. So, can Cronenworth play in right field? Would he? I've read that he could play left. So, it looks like if you're going to keep Will Myers had himself a good season. It was just it was his kind of like, I don't want to call it a breakout year, but it was a really good year for Will Myers. It was a small sample size, but he did a lot better than what people were expecting. Had a really good year. So the question is, what do you do with a Tommy Pham? That's going to be the interesting thing here. He did not have himself a good year. He had something going on at a strip club or something where he got like stabbed or something like that. Sorry, that's a little graphic to say, but I don't know. Do you maybe, I'm going to go back here. I'm going to go back. Here we go. Baseball trade values. I'm sorry. We're going back to Yu Darvish right now, but this has to do with Ha-Seong Kim. So let's take a look. Here we go. Padres, Cubs. Okay. So, all right. I got to reset this whole thing. So Cubs are getting Darvish. Here we go. Or Padres are getting Darvish. Sorry. And then Caratini. So with the Padres, could they maybe include Tommy Pham in this trade? But that's another thing. Where would Tommy Pham fit? They already have an outfield. They already have they got they got Happ and they got Hayward. Actually, do they have a center fielder right now? Didn't they have Nico Horner plugged in there or something? Cubs. Here we go. Sorry, everyone. I'm kind of veering off right now, but I'm kind of thinking on the fly. So, if you take a look, so center field, okay, they have Ian Happ, but okay, so they have Ian Happ in left and center. So, and they have Hayward in right. But so as of right now, at second, you got Bo and Horner. So it looks like they have an opening in left. So maybe Pham could be a part of this. I don't know. Where is Pham? Pham, where are you at? Pham. Okay, so he's got a little value. What's his contract right now? Tommy Pham contract. So maybe that could end up being where instead of the Cubs sending over cash, maybe they could take back Tommy Pham. I don't remember what his contract is, though. So this year, he's going to be making... Oh, okay, so that's not bad. He's going to be making $8 million. So maybe the Cubs do this. This actually seems like it could maybe make sense. I'm not sure what you all think in the chat. But, so he's making $8 million in 2021. So that could maybe, they can take off his contract. So here we go. So if you put in Pham, again, he's not really too much value, 2.6. And then again, getting back to the guys that I had in earlier, where, hold on, here we go. So we had, what do we have? We had Hassell, Morejon, I don't know. And then maybe throw in one more guy. And I don't know, maybe you're pretty close. So I don't know. I wonder if they do part with Baez. I feel like Baez's name comes up a lot in these trades. Whatever. I'm just going to put him in for numbers' sake. Someone like around that level. But I don't know. This actually doesn't seem too bad, if you ask me. I like Tommy Pham a lot. And for the Cubs, if they just take on his $8 million for this year, so then, if they're able to part with Darvish's contract and they can take on Pham for this year, he's a free agent after this year. So they would only have to pay him for this year, and then they got someone that can play left, and Hap can play center, and then you got Hayward and right. So maybe something like this. Don't be surprised if you see Tommy Pham included in this trade. It makes me wonder. So just a thought, because getting back here to what was I looking at? Sorry. The depth chart where Jake Cronenworth, if you have Ha-Seong Kim slide into play second, well then Cronenworth can now play over in left instead of Tommy Pham. So that's going to be an interesting thing. I do wonder if Tommy Pham is going to be included in this trade. So again, it would kind of, instead of the Cubs having to send over cash, they can just take Pham's contract. So, and that would kind of even out a little bit where, maybe the Padres can include a better prospect if the Cubs take on Pham's contract. So interesting, very interesting to say, to kind of see what happens at the end of this. But overall, I think it's a great move for the Padres. You're getting a young guy in Ha-Seong Kim. He's only 25 years old. He's shown a lot of promise over in the KBO. He has a lot of tools. He can hit for average. He can hit for power. He has speed. He can field. He can move around. So he gets on base really well. So there's a lot of things the Padres, and one thing about him is they can move him around. They can move Cronenworth around. I don't know. Maybe Kim could maybe try some outfield. I don't know. But I think this is a good move for the Padres. He was being connected a lot to the Blue Jays. He was being connected a lot to the Rangers. The Blue Jays had that connection because the Blue Jays could use someone in that infield, and the Rangers could use someone as well. And that was also interesting with the Blue Jays because they had Hyun-Jin Ryu, who came over from the KBO. So you kind of had that connection there a little bit, where I also read that Ha-Seong Kim and Hyun-Jin Ryu had dinner together at some point. So Ryu was trying to tempt him to come on over to Toronto. But with Kim, you're on the West Coast. I think it's a good move and great move for the Padres. They're just on fire right now. They're on fire like they were at the trade deadline. It's almost like they planned this for the last 5 years or so, stocking up on those prospects. So Overall, I like this move. I think it's a great move. But let me come back to you here. What do you all think? What do you all think of the Ha-Seong Kim move? Do you think it's a good move for the Padres? Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you like the addition of Ha-Seong Kim in San Diego. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down in the chat. What do you think? Lee, you don't think Pham is going anywhere? I wonder if he doesn't go anywhere. I'm wondering if he's going to end up being a fourth outfielder. You know, it's going to be interesting to see. Mind-blowing trick shots. Cronenworth is the GOAT. I'm excited to see what Cronenworth can do in a full season. He showed a lot of promise this past year. Orioles, check Steve Cohen's Twitter. What is going on Steve Cohen's Twitter? Is it actual big news or what? Hey, okay, so Steve Cohen tweets, hey, give the Padres credit. They had a top 5 farm system that gave them flexibility to trade for Snell. Newsflash, the Mets farm system needs to be replenished. Interesting. And very spot on. I agree. The Mets, I love Steve Cohen on Twitter. Steve Cohen on Twitter is fantastic. That's what you got to do. It's 2020. You got to do this with people. You got to get on freaking Twitter and whatever else. You got to start posting stuff. You got to get on YouTube. You got to start talking with your fans. I love that Steve Cohen's talking with his fans. So, but yeah. So I agree with him there. The Mets do need some more in that farm system. But let's move on to the next bit of news. Let's get away from the Padres. I cannot talk about the Padres anymore. I'm on Padres overload right now, just like all of you are. Let's move away from the Padres and let's go to Pittsburgh. Let's talk about Joe Musgrove drawing trade interest. He's been drawing trade interest all offseason, but we're starting to see his name come up a little bit. I'm a big fan of Joe Musgrove. I think this is a solid addition for a rotation as a really good number 3, maybe even a number 2. I like Joe Musgrove a lot, and I think we're going to see him on the move eventually. I think for the Pirates, I think you need to trade Joe Musgrove. I think it's silly to hang on to him, but you got to start replenishing that farm system, just like Steve Cohen says about the Mets. So, hold on. Let me pull up the story here. Let's give credit where it's due. Here we go. All right, so Joe Musgrove drawing increased trade interest. So as we can see, the Pirates traded Josh Bell to the Nationals last week, and MLB Network's John Heyman tweets that Pittsburgh righty Joe Musgrove is drawing keen interest and could get a look from clubs that missed on Blake Snell. Not that the two are comparable in terms of track record. Jason Mackey of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette offers a similar sentiment, tweeting that multiple sources have told him they believe Musgrove is next for the Pirates as they continue their rebuilding effort. That's exactly what I said after Josh Bell. I said that on that stream. He's next. If you got Josh Bell was the white flag. That was the official white flag. Where you traded Josh Bell, okay, now it's get rid of everyone. I could maybe see hanging on to a Joe Musgrove. Maybe he could be a part of that rebuilding process, but I don't know about that. But I just think with Musgrove, you're going to get too much good value back to just keep him. I think you got to start rebuilding if you're the Pirates. You got to get something for this guy. And you know me, I love baseball trade value. So let's actually take a look at a couple of trades. I've given a couple before. Pirates are right here. I think a team like the Blue Jays could really use a Joe Musgrove. I think that would be awesome. So real quick, Musgrove, where are you at? You got a 36.4 value. And then with the Blue Jays, I think you got something that you could send back. The Blue Jays need starting pitching. They need someone with Hyun-Jin Ryu. I really think if you look at what they have, they can make something happen here. So take a look. Maybe you could do a Woods Richardson, something like that. You just traded your first baseman, Josh Bell. Rowdy Tellez seems to fit that mold very well. And just like that, you're right in the ballpark of maybe a trade getting done. I think this is a trade. I think this looks pretty good if you ask me. You're really close right now. You could add in one more prospect. Maybe you can do Alek Manoah. That might be a bit of an overpay. Actually, no, that's a slight overpay. It's not crazy, but maybe something like this. You get 3 really good young players for a Joe Musgrove, a Woods Richardson. He's a really good pitching prospect out there. Alek Manoah, mid-level pitching prospect. And then you get a first baseman. I like this. I like this a lot. BZ Baseball, if I switch Groshans for Richardson, that's going to make it go over. So if I put in Groshans, it's pretty much, it would have to be Groshans maybe straight up for him. It would probably be that. So hold on. Let me just show you now. As I can see, wait, did I take out Woods Richardson? No. So as you can see here, BZ Baseball, that's a big overpay right there. That's not going to happen. So baseball trade values, if you get something within like 10 points of each other, that's where it seems to be realistic. So I don't see this happening, but I definitely could see someone like a Woods Richardson. Absolutely. I could see this. I could see something like this happening. I think this works for the Blue Jays. Maybe you can go to the Angels. Let's go to the Angels. Angels could use some more starting pitching. They missed out on Blake Snell. Let's go back to the Pirates. Let's throw Musgrove in there. And there's already a perfect trade that sits out there right now for the Pirates. They could get their young outfield prospect, Brandon Marsh, and that is as dead even as it gets. I think you would have to include something else if you're the Angels. I could see maybe adding in, I don't know, someone. No, take your pick, I guess. Maybe someone like this. It's a bit of an overpay, but I think you get the picture. Something like this. Brandon Marsh, I think, would be the perfect piece for the Angels to get rid of to get a Joe Musgrove. I think this works a lot. So maybe not throwing Jackson. That might be a bit much. Maybe someone, I don't know, maybe like Jones or something. And then I think maybe you're pretty close right here. I think maybe this could be a bit realistic. But again, if you want starting pitching, if you want top tier starting pitching, all teams want top tier starting pitching. They all want that. So you're gonna have to overpay a little bit. You're going to have to overpay. And I think if you're the Angel or if you're the Pirates, you could maybe get more out of this. So if you go to a team, the Yankees, maybe the Yankees could get a Joe Musgrove. That could be interesting as well. So Joe Musgrove to the Yankees. I think that would be what a crazy addition that would be. You get Garrett Cole and Joe Musgrove. How funny would that be? So taking a look here, Yankees, they could send back. I mean, you could kind of take your pick here. I don't know. Do you include a Schmidt? Again, I know a lot of people are very high on Clark Schmidt, but overall, he doesn't have a great value, at least on here. I'm not sure what many people think about that, but I know a lot of Yankee fans really like Clark Schmidt. But I feel like someone like that might have to be a part of this. I don't know. Maybe you could do like an Oswald Peraza, and then maybe someone else in here too. I don't know. Maybe Florial. Something like that. I think that's actually not bad. I don't know. I think Yankee fans might not like that. I know Yankee fans really like Schmidt. But you got Peraza down there as a shortstop prospect. If you're going to keep Gleyber Torres as your shortstop, I don't know what they end up doing with DJ LeMahieu. That's going to be interesting. But if you end up bringing back DJ LeMahieu, Gleyber Torres is going to be your shortstop. And then Peraza is expendable at that point. Florial, he just never seems to really be able to get in there all that much. Schmidt, this might be a bit too much. Let me take off Peraza. I don't know. Maybe include, I don't know. Maybe like a Sakema, Talkman. No, I don't know. Maybe Vizcaino, something like that. I mean, even that. I mean, that's. I think if you're the Yankees, you're gonna have to overpay. I think you're gonna have to. I think you have to hit at least 40 on there. I think. I don't know. Maybe Gill instead. Hold on. Who was the guy that I included? I don't know. I think something like that. I know a lot of Yankee fans might agree with that, but I think that's actually pretty close. I think that's pretty realistic if you ask me. I don't know. That's just me. But I think if you're the Pirates, I think that's a pretty decent package you're getting back. You have to overpay for starting pitching. You're not going to get starting pitching. So you have to understand that. So this could something like that. Another team that could maybe use starting pitching. Let me get one more team. The Red Sox could definitely use starting pitching, but they don't have the prospects to give. So I think the Phillies could be a really interesting option for a Joe Musgrove. I did a how to fix the Phillies video, and I actually really like this trade a lot. Phillies, I believe if they gave up, I know a lot of people don't want to part with Stott, but that might have to be someone. And then who are the other guys? I think I did Morales, and then I think Hazley. I think this is the package that I did. That's pretty dead even if you ask me. That is really close. I think the Phillies could really use someone like that. I don't know if Dave Dombrowski really wants to make a competitive team. I don't know if he'd want to part with prospects, but hey, the Phillies could use some more starting pitching. Why not? That would be a pretty good top three if you ask me. Musgrove, Wheeler, Nola. That's pretty good if you ask me. So, I don't know. There's a lot of teams that could use some starting pitching, but Joe Musgrove is drawing the attention out there. There's a lot of teams that could use some starting pitching, and there's a lot of teams that could get it done. So, I agree, Chester. They need bullpen help. They need a lot of help. They need help all over the place. So, they got to bring Realmuto back. And, oh, what a segue, if you ask me. Oh, that might have been the perfect segue. Because JT Realmuto is my next story. Realmuto remains a top priority for the Phillies. I mean, I've been saying this all offseason. If you're the Phillies, you have got to bring this guy back. I understand some people might not like this. So they might not want to give him the money. But if you're the Phillies, you have got to bring him back. Absolutely got to bring him back. So let's take a look. Let me share my screen. All right, so if we take a look, JT Realmuto, so it says right here, almost 2 months into free agency, catcher JT Realmuto still hasn't signed anywhere. However, he remains a priority for the Phillies and their new front office consisting of President of Baseball Operations Dave Dombrowski and General Manager Sam Fuld. The Phillies' goal of re-signing Realmuto is no surprise as he continued his run as the major's premier catcher in their uniform over the previous 2 seasons, though it remains unclear how much the team is willing to spend this offseason. I think personally with Realmuto, I think he's looking for more years, but I think teams are afraid of his longevity. And I think the Phillies also see that too. I think they're thinking, you know what? We don't want to go 5 years. And I don't think a lot of teams are going to go 5 years. So let me actually take a look. There was actually another article talking about that. Was it CBS Sports? Might have been CBS Sports. There was something about the years. I read it somewhere. They have an offer out to him, but like with the other big free agents, it might be. I feel like it's going to come down to. I read it somewhere. I don't remember where I read it. There was something about the teams were a little afraid to give him. Afraid to give him more years on that deal. I can't find where that was. I read it somewhere and I don't remember. But either way, I think that's what it's coming down to here with JT Realmuto. I think personally, I could be completely wrong. I'm usually wrong a lot, but I just feel like he's going to end back in Philly. I don't think there's a lot of good fits for him out there. I think teams are concerned about other things. I think Realmuto, he might take a short deal. It's possible. Maybe that can work out for both sides. Maybe he comes back on a short deal. I don't know. Could he maybe go back on a 1-year deal? Is that possible? Maybe kind of wait for the market next year? Because there's not really teams like the Blue Jays. Maybe they could use him. The Angels could use him. But they don't want to spend on a catcher. They already have options at the catching position. The team that needs a catcher are the Phillies. They are the Phillies. So they need JT Realmuto back. So I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he's going to stay right in Philadelphia. That's my prediction. I think he's going to go back on like a 1-year deal if you don't want to go for a lot of years and you just go retest free agency next year. Or they just come to an agreement on like a 4-year deal, something like that. Maybe like 4 years, 88 million, 90 million, something like that. I think that could work out. So But that is all we have right now. Let me come back to the chat real quick. Let me see what you guys are talking about before I get out of here. Here we go. BC Baseball. Davies and Casey are part of the Darvish deal, according to Jonathan Mayo. Ooh, okay. So we got an update on that. So who is that? Jonathan Mayo? Is that on Twitter? Okay, here we go. So let's share the screen. Thank you, BZ Baseball, for sharing the news. Alrighty. Here we go. So Jonathan Mayo, sources tell me that there are still moving parts in the Cubs-Padres deal involving Yu Darvish, but I'm told Zach Davies plus several prospects are in deal. Interesting. Going to Chicago, including... okay, so the second round pick from 2020, Owen... Wow, interesting. Let's come back here. Let me see if I can plug that in. Okay, so Cubs, Padres... all right, so Cubs, they're going to be sending Darvish and Caratini. Whoa, what is going on? Okay, we're gonna redo that. Oh, I hate when this website doesn't cooperate. Cubs, Padres. Here we go. So, one more time. Let's plug this in. Darvish and Caratini. And then going back to the Cubs. So, we saw, what was it? So, Davies. Okay. Davies. Wait, no, I'm looking at the Cubs. No, wait, I'm looking at the Padres. We're good. Davies, here we go. So, again, not much value. 0.5, at least according to baseball trade values. And then you said, is it Casey? Am I pronouncing that right? Is it Owen Casey? I think that sounds like I'm pronouncing it right. I don't know. I pronounce so many names wrong. Okay, but he doesn't have much value at all. Look at this right now. So, this is what we have to work with. This is what we're working with? Oh, I mean, obviously this is not the final trade. I'm just saying, but like, so I don't know what else you got. Okay, so I think if you're the Padres, okay, so I think Hassell and Morejon are going to be in this. I think that's possible. I think this is possible what you're looking at. Do they get rid of Morejon? That'd be the interesting thing too, since they're including Davies. But I don't know, like. I don't know. Can you give up both? That's interesting. If they don't give up Morejon, so that's the problem is Davies. You know, so I don't know. Weathers? I mean, I don't know. I feel like Morejon would have to be a part of that, right? You would think. Weathers? Ugh. I don't know why. I just don't like that trade. I don't like this for the Cubs. It's just so like... I like Hassell, but he's so far away. You don't know what's going to end up happening with him. Yeah, there's a lot of potential there. I mean, that's no way the Cubs are going to get that. I think they're going to get more. God, they got to get more. They would have to get Morejon, right? No, that's an overpay. That's not going to happen. So, take Weathers off. Unless you do one more. I mean, there's a 3-point difference right there. I think if you're the Cubs, you can squeeze out one more. If you're taking on Davies, he's in the last year of his deal. What is Davies' contract? Zach Davies contract. So he's making 8.5. So that makes sense. So they're going to be taking on cash. So that would be the cash going back to the Cubs. So that kind of makes sense. That does make sense. I did say Davies was an option earlier, but it's just like, do they really want Davies? I don't know. Do they take Pham back? That'd be interesting. And then maybe you can get another prospect. Could you imagine that? I mean, honestly, let's just stick with this right now. So, I don't know. Maybe if you're the Cubs, you can get one more here. I don't know. Again, like maybe someone like a Baez, maybe like Chessie. I mean, could you see that? Could you see something like this? I mean, if we're talking Davies and Casey right now, and then Hassell, Chessie, and Morejon, I don't know. This is interesting. I don't know. I think it's going to come down to something like that. Andrew Lee, I agree. Pham is probably not going anywhere, but it'd be interesting to see if the Padres want to try and send him back. I don't know, because where are you going to put Cronenworth? What's Pham going to do? Is Pham going to be on the bench? Are you going to have is Ha-Seong Kim going to be more of your utility guy off the bench first? I don't know. So, but yeah, this is kind of what we're looking at right now. So again, everyone, that is the update. Thank you, BZ Baseball, for that update. Again, so it looks like they are getting very close to a deal here, and it looks like a part of this, you're going to be getting Zach Davies going back to the Cubs, and they're going to be getting their second-round pick, Owen Casey. Actually, if I put up the Padres top prospects, where does Casey rank? I would imagine, is he in the top 30? Casey's not even, oh yeah, he is. He's number 13. So this would be an interesting pick here. He was the 45th pick overall. And hey, don't count out Jed Hoyer. Jed Hoyer is really good. He was with the Red Sox for a while. He's been under Theo Epstein's wing for a long time now. So I trust Jed Hoyer when it comes to talent. But this is a guy, if you're looking at him, he's got an overall of 45. He's got a hit tool of 45. He's got raw power. So that's where you see with Owen Casey, a 55 power grade. He's got a good arm, 60 arm, and he's got some speed too. He's good in the field. So it looks like he's got a good arm and he's got good power potential, but it's the hit tool. So let's see what they say here. Casey has the tools to fit the right field profile very well, starting with his plus raw power. He has legit pop from the left side of the plate. I'm going to get to this in a second. With the ability to drive the ball to all fields, some scouts have questioned his bat path, leading to some concerns about his ability to get to that power, but he has shown the ability to make adjustments in the past. So that's kind of the concern with him, is just his swing, the path of his bat. So that's where teams are a little I'm wondering if maybe the Cubs were trying to get a Robert Hassell, but maybe the Padres are like, nope, we're not parting with Hassell, but we'll give you Owen Casey. So I wonder if Hudson Head could maybe came up in some talks. I don't know. So overall, though, this is kind of what we're looking at. You're definitely looking like you're going to, the Cubs are definitely going to be getting a pitcher back. They're going to get Davies, or they're going to get Morahan, or they're going to get both. Who knows? I'm really interested to see how this trade ends up happening. But Brad Roblox, 7-player deal confirmed. Is this a thing? Hold on. Here we go. So Mark Feinsand, Cubs and Padres continue to discuss Darvish deal. But I'm hearing there's moving parts. Involved, that could be yet another Padres trade, multiple deals, multiple players involved, medicals. A lot of balls in the air right now. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like I really think it's going to come down to some financials a little bit. Oh, here we go. So Kevin Acee. Hearing Zach Davies, Reginald Preciado, shortstop prospect. Interesting. Oh, okay. So Owen Casey. Interesting. Here we go. So hold on. Let's plug this stuff in real quick. Hold on. Man, if they were able to keep Morahan too, are you kidding? So who was it again? It was, what did this guy say? This guy said Preciado, which makes sense. It's like, why do you need shortstop prospects? You got your shortstop for the next 10 years. Okay, so Preciado. That's all he said, right? So it's Davies, Preciado, and so probably not going to be Hassell. So let's take off Hassell. Ugh, but then you're really going to have to fill in. You got a long way to go here. If these are the 3 guys that are confirmed as of right now, according to these people on Twitter, I mean, you got a long way to go. Whoa, we got something happening. What's going on? How are we doing? Logan Jones with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you. Dodgers are going to get Liam Hendricks and Trevor Bauer to answer the Padres. Dodgers in 5. I would laugh hysterically if that happened. Could you imagine The Dodgers just say, all right, nah, screw this. We're going over the luxury tax. We're bringing them all in. We're sick of these Padres. We're gonna end this right now. That'd be hilarious. I would die laughing. If they brought in Trevor Bauer, I would lose it. I would lose my mind. That would be I'm not even a Dodgers fan, but that would be the funniest. That would be such a troll move. Could you imagine? Can I just say this too? I saw Rachel Luba is the Trevor Bauer's agent. She tweeted something about the Padres where she said let me pull up that tweet. I thought it was hilarious. Like, dude, this offseason is like, it's so just, I don't know what's going on. Here we go. It was this tweet. She tweeted it 6 hours ago. Looks like the Padres are finally tired of the Dodgers owning the NL West. And then the eyes. Oh my God. Could you imagine if the Padres signed Trevor Bauer? I would lose my mind. I'd lose my mind. I wouldn't even know what to do. And then Jared Carrabis, he says, hey, Jared Carrabis is so funny on Twitter. I know some people don't like him, but I think I'm up and down with him. Sometimes he's really funny. Sometimes he's just like really annoying about some stuff. But overall, I like Jared Carrabis a lot. Hey, do you think Trevor Bauer is going to sign with the Padres? Let me know. Oh my God, I would lose my mind. Oh, could you imagine if the Padres signed him? That would be they would win the trade deadline from last season. They would literally just go like Miami Heat, LeBron James mode. LeBron James, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade. That would be literally that. They're bringing in like all these guys. It would be a super team. Oh, I don't know. I would lose my mind if I don't know. But Luba, she's just trolling. I think Bauer is going to end up with the Angels. I think just overall, they're going to give him the money. They need starting pitching. Hey, he's from California. I think it's a good fit for both sides, but this would be the biggest troll move of all time if Trevor Bauer went to the Padres. Huge troll move. It would be insane. Could you imagine that rotation? Lamet, Bauer, Darvish, Clevinger, Paddock. Wait, who am I missing? I missed someone because they got so many starting pitchers I can't even think. Who did I miss? Who is that? Who did I miss? So, let me just think about this real quick. Okay, so Lamet, Bauer, Darvish, Clevinger, Paddock. Oh, insane. That would be insane. I don't think it's going to happen, but that's just me. I don't know. And then you got Mackenzie Gore. Oh, Snell. Oh, my God. I'm forgetting Snell. My God. Oh, my brain is breaking right now. Like, thinking about that. Oh, my God. Oh, it's too much. Padres, stop it. You're going to break my already potato brain. Oh, so okay, let's go over this now. Lamet, Bauer, Snell, Clevinger. I just missed. I can't keep track of all these pictures. I'm losing track of pictures. Hold on. One more time. Lamet, Bauer, Darvish, Clevinger, Snell, and then Paddock. Stop it. Stop it. I can't. It's gonna break me. That's gonna break my brain. I can't do it. No, I can't. See what you guys are doing to me right now? I can't do this right now. Everyone, that is all I have for tonight. Oh, hold on. Wait, we got an official trade. Oh, hold on a second. Oh, I was just about to get out of here. Official. Hold on a second. Let's take a look. Yu Darvish, Victor Caratini, Zach Davies, Reginald Preciado, Owen Casey, Ismail Mania, Jason Santana. Ooh, thank you for catching my eye on that. I was so close to getting out of here. Oh, man. Hold on. So I would love to plug in this trade live on the show. I would love to see, just so you all can see, we can all react together of who wins. Where are you seeing it? What is it John Heyman that just said 33 seconds ago? Are you kidding me? Okay. Davies, Casey, Preciado. Okay, so what you just said. Okay. Hold on a second. Dude. What? Okay, hold on. Mania. Dude, oh my God. They didn't get one prospect in the top 10? No. No, dude. Oh my God. I don't even know how to react to this. Really? Hold on. Okay, we're going to plug this in right now. Okay, I got Davies, Casey, Preciado, Mania. Hold on. Mania. I got to go alphabetical order here. Mania, where are you at? Oh my God. Don't tell me. Don't tell me that. Oh my God. No way. Santana. Oh. No. Oh. This is the trade? Oh, no way. This makes me sad. This is upsetting. Dude. Oh my God. I'm not even a Cubs fan. I mean, I like the Cubs. I do because you know, we have that curse thing, you know, where you were you know, they had their curse, we had our curse. So I like the Cubs. You know, I like them. Oh, this hurts my brain. Hoyer, what are you doing? Hoyer! No! This is your first big trade. Oh, what are you doing? I can't handle this. I don't even know who these guys. I don't know who these guys are. Okay, hold on. No, Padres top prospects. Okay, come on, help me out. I can't handle this. Okay, so all right. You had Preciado. Okay, I don't mind Preciado here. Who knows? He could end up. He's 17 years old. I do like that. He's 17 years old. I believe is he out of high school or is he international? He was from Panama. Hey, Panama tends to get some good players. Watch out for Panama players. He's a lean and athletic shortstop with a large frame and projectable body. He has the types of tools that can make an impact on both sides of the ball and tons of upside. So definitely, I like Preciado in this deal. I don't mind that. Okay, so he's a switch hitter, so that's cool. He drives the ball with hard contact from the right, sprays the ball from gap to gap. He has good rhythm, good body control. So it says here he has a good feel for hitting. I will say whenever you see like the kind of prospects that go back in trades, at least these days, you like to see when it says that they have a good feel for hitting. And that's a really good thing for a 17-year-old kid. When they already have a good feel for hitting now, that's a good sign. So I think maybe, his value is pretty low right here, but there is a potential he could end up being a really good prospect. I like Preciado a lot. I like him a lot. I didn't really know too much about him, but, after reading this, I think that's not bad. If we look at the tools, I mean, right now, he actually has like pretty projectable tools. 55 hit tool, 50 run, 50 field, 50 power, 55 arms. So he should be able to stay at short if his arm's already projecting like that. So, but again, he has an overall 45 because he's 17 years old. This is a long way away. I think this is a really big reset move for the Cubs. Casey, we already looked at Casey. This is a guy who has raw power. So he's 6'4". I mean, that's already a really good frame. Again, he's just really far away. That's the only thing. They're going to have to work with him on the hitting. If we take a look, who are the other guys? So you know what you're getting in Davies. You're getting a 3 or a 4 in the rotation. He's not bad. You're getting Mania. Who is Mania? Ismail Mania, wow, they're really going youth. Whoa. He's 18 years old. Wow, they are really like banking on guys, like on these like really young players. Big athletic, wiry, and full of potential. Mania has drawn comparisons to a young Franchi Cordero or Gregory Polanco. That combination of tools and ceiling earned Mania a $2.2 million signing bonus from the Padres at the outset of the 2019-20 international signing period. Mania is all projection right now, but scouts agree that the 16-year-old outfielder has the ingredients needed to become a special player. So this is interesting. You know, again, he's really young. He could end up being something. Who knows if you have like these kind of numbers, but again, these numbers are going to be really low for these kind of players because they're so far away. That's the only thing. Santana, take a look. Where is Santana? So Jason Santana getting another shortstop in there. So again, wow, they're getting like young players. Like he's going to be far away as well. So again, another international player. Santana quickly has emerged as the organization's most promising prospect from that class. A natural shortstop who also projects well at the plate. He garnered Dominican Summer League All-Star honors during his pro debut. Broke out offensively in the rookie-level Arizona League. Hit .346 there at only age 18 years old. That's pretty good. Santana's selectively aggressive approach is advanced for a player his age. Again, there's that other thing where they have a good feel for the game already. So at such a young age, so it kind of, you're noticing some things here with the Cubs. They're going after these young players that have a kind of a good feel already. He has a blend of bat speed, patience. That's another good thing. I will say that. That's really good. If you're a young hitter like that and you're already showing good patience, that's a good thing to have as a young player. I'll say that. Remaining physical, he has a feel for the barrel. That's good. With remaining physical projection that points toward future power gains. Santana has proven difficult to strike out early in his career. But again, I don't understand that. So he shows patience, but he strikes out. So it looks like maybe that's more of a matter of, I don't know, he just needs a little more development in that area with, looking out for certain pitches, certain counts and whatnot. But he also has a penchant for quality opposite field contact. So that's another good thing for a young player as well. So, okay, I think, okay, let me try and be positive about this. I'm going to try and be positive because I know a lot of YouTubers with whatever they like to do on YouTube, they like to be negative, but I'm going to try and be positive about this one. I'm going to try and be positive. So I think, as you saw with what the Cubs are trying to do, they're trying to get raw talent. They're trying to get young talent that already show a good feel for the game. They already have, like, whether if it's like a good feel for hitting, or they already have raw power. They have a lot of potential. They went for very high upside guys here that, who knows, could end up being something, could end up being nothing. I would imagine if you're going to look at this group, I mean, Davies, to be honest with you, I think they brought in Zach Davies because if you're getting rid of Darvish, now you're getting rid of innings. You got to have someone come back. You got to have someone come back to fill those innings. Davies, they're going to take on his $8 million for this year, but they're not going to have to pay Darvish or Caratini for however long now. So they're out of Darvish's contract. So that's why they're bringing in Davies. But again, oh my God, like, I'm just looking at these numbers. It's rough. But yeah, I like the raw power potential of Casey. I like that Davies can at least fill some innings. Preciado, he's got a lot of upside. Santana has a lot of upside. Mania has a lot of upside. A lot of upside in this trade. And I think the Cubs, they're taking a chance. And I think the way they think about this is if they can have one of these, I'm not going to count Davies. So the 4 prospects that they got, I think their thinking is, you know what? Let's go for high upside on these prospects. And if one of them turns out to be a star player, then hey, it was worth it, right? You're not going to compete one thing I'll say with the Cubs, they're not going to compete. They have had this group of guys now for how long? They've had Darvish for a little bit now. They haven't done anything. They have not won. So after 2016, they've kind of just been stagnant. They haven't really been able to do anything, and they see the writing on the wall, and they got to do a reset. I mean, of course, when you see something like this, when you look at these numbers, you just saw for Blake Snell. They overpaid for Blake Snell. I think it's different with Snell. He's also younger. He's also more attractive financially. So I think with Darvish, he's older. He's more expensive. I think Darvish, though, I think he has a lot to give. I'm just surprised that they couldn't even get close to the numbers on here. I am surprised about that. That's a bit of a surprise. But very interesting. Kind of looking at this, it's high upside. That's what the Cubs are going for here. On paper, this looks terrible. Horrible on paper. But it could end up being something down the road. There's a lot of upside here, like I've said 5 times now. A lot of upside. But on paper, this does not look great right now. But hey, maybe down the road, 5 to 7 years from now, one of these players develops into a star player and could end up really doing something. I kind of wish they got a pitching prospect back in this. They do have some young pitching on the farm that could end up being something. So, but you would have liked to have seen a pitching prospect added into this. I mean, you're getting Davies. So we're going to have to wait and see what ends up happening with these players. It's going to take a long time to see who won this trade. Unfortunately, whoa, we got something going on. What is happening? Logan Jones again with the $5 super chat. This reminds me of 2015 and they choke. Logan Jones, could you imagine if the Padres just don't even make the playoffs this year? I would die laughing. I would lose my mind. I forgot about that Padres team. Oh, let's go to that Padres team. Padres, I'm going to give you a rough time right now. I'm sorry, but, deal with me here. I don't think they're going to choke like this team did. But I remember this team had a lot of promise going into this year. Is this when they just hired was that when they just hired Bud Black? No, I don't remember. But remember this team? Remember they brought in all these guys. They had Matt Kemp. They had Justin Upton. They had Will Myers too. Remember that? Didn't they traded for Matt Kemp, right? Or did they sign him? I think they signed him, right? Didn't they sign him to a big deal? What was that contract he had? Matt Kemp trade. No. Trade. Yeah, 2015. Wait, no, they didn't trade him. What am I talking about? Oh, no, they did trade him. So, traded to Padres in that 5-player deal. Oh, we're going back in time right now, about 5 years ago. Who are the guys that they got back? Oh, no, the Dodgers signed him to a long-term deal. So, how did he do then? 2014, he had 25 home runs. He had 89 RBIs. He did pretty good that year. 2014 going into 2015. Who was another guy? They had Justin Upton too. I remember that. I remember Justin Upton. Hold on. Justin Upton. So did they sign him that year? I think they signed. He actually did pretty good. Well, 2014, he had 29 home runs, 102 RBIs, and then he went to San Diego. He was an all-star that year. So, and then Will Myers, too. Who is Will Myers? There we go. How did he did pretty good in 2014, didn't he? Before that 2015 season, he was pretty good with the Rays. He had a good year in 2013, and then he dropped off a lot in 2014, but he was still considered one of the best young players in the game. He just had a bit of an off season. Well, he got Rookie of the Year in 2013, And then he had a down year, 2014. Then he went to San Diego. I remember this, man. Now I'm looking back, I forgot about this. But what was the pitching staff they had? They had James Shields. They had Tyson Ross, Cashner, Ian Kennedy. Oh, yeah, they had Kimbrel too. Oh, man. Interesting. Man, I don't know. I don't think this is going to be the I don't think they're going to choke, man. I don't think they're going to choke like that. They got way more pitching now. Dude, this team is, I know it's on paper, but good grief. This team is like loaded right now. I want to pull up that picture again. How do I pull up that picture? Where is that picture? Just take a look at what you could be seeing in 2022. Just look at what we could be seeing. This is insane. This is nuts. I can't stop looking at this because this is ridiculous. You got legit 3 dudes who have pitched in a World Series in the last 5 years? Yeah, 5 years. You got 3 guys who have pitched in the World Series in the last 5 years. You got Darvish, who was with the Dodgers. You had Snell, who was just this past year. And you had Clevinger in 2016. So, this is nuts. This is stupid. I hate looking at this. Thank God the Red Sox are not in the National League. Because when I look at this, this is stupid. If Lamet is, what I really actually like, what I think is a bit of an underrated aspect of this, is you wonder how Dinelson Lamet's going to do. You wonder how he's going to do. Because he was having, the shoulder issues before last season. Before the end of last season. So he didn't get to pitch in the playoffs. So he was having issues there. So I actually like that aspect of that, bringing in Darvish and Snell, because you don't know what's going to happen with him. What's going to happen with his durability. So I like that they brought them in because you never know. Lamet could go down at some point, but they still got depth. I mean, well, you're not going to have Clevinger. So as of right now, if Lamet's healthy, you got Lamet, Darvish, Snell, Paddock, and then what do they do with Gore? Do they bring Gore up or Morejon? Or, so they have definitely some options right now. If Lamet goes down at some point, he ends up, having a long-term injury of some sort. Well, then Darvish, Snell, Paddock, Morejon probably, and then you got Mackenzie Gore. And so that's kind of what you're looking at. I think this is good for the Padres to do for this year. You got more depth, man. What I can respect what the Padres are doing because they're going for it. You don't win the World Series with prospects. You don't win the World Series with your farm system. And at the end of the day, that is what teams are trying to do. They're trying to win the World Series. You don't win the World Series with a farm system. It's simple as that. So Andrew Lee, hey man, it's possible. Could we see a back-to-back World Series champion for the first time since the year 2000 with the Yankees that year? So they were a three-peat, 98, 99, and 2000. So could we see the Padres be, could you imagine the storytelling of that? The Padres were the first team to lose a part of that three-peat with the Yankees. And then could the Padres be the first team since then to win back-to-back World Series? I don't know. A little story. That was a bit of a stretch of storytelling, if you ask me. But interesting. BZ Baseball. I think the Padres still do have a top 10 farm system. They still have Gore. You still have Abrams. And you still have Campusano. And you still got Hassell. They did not give up Hassell in this trade. That blows my mind. Oh, Jed Hoyer. Why couldn't you get one more guy? I like the upside, but you couldn't get one more guy that was like a Robert Hassell. I don't know. But everyone, that's all I have. Wow, that was one of the more exciting nights of baseball that I have had in a while, probably since the World Series. So everyone, that's all I have. I want to thank you so much for coming out tonight. Look at how many people we have right now. 251 people. You're fantastic. You're amazing. Thank you for coming in tonight. Before I get out of here real quick, if you are looking for more baseball news, you're looking for more baseball content, hit that subscribe button for me. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers by opening day. I think we can do it. That would be awesome if we can do it. So if you are looking for more baseball news and content, hit that subscribe button for me. One more time, if you can, hit that like button for me if you have yet to hit that like button. And go follow me on Twitter. I'm talking baseball over there throughout the day. So everyone, that is all I have for tonight. I want to thank you so much for coming out. If there is more news tomorrow, hey, maybe this is the spark of the offseason that we needed. So don't be surprised if we see some news tomorrow. Maybe George Springer? Maybe. But everyone, that's all I have. Thanks for coming out, and I'll talk to you next time.